All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the Fields of Friendly Strife podcast. I am your host, Justin Schaff, and what we didn't talk about last time, and we'll be reminded today, it's Hump Day. Hump, Mike. Hump Day. Thanks, everyone, for coming by. Just as a reminder, Justin Schaff, your host of the Fields of Friendly Strife podcast. Thanks for stopping by as someone that is a sports aficionado. I wouldn't call myself an aficionado, but one that certainly loves sport, has a sport background, now privileged to be able to work at my family's construction company here in Erie, Pennsylvania, living out a passion of having a podcast to honor a fallen friend, Dan Priel. So let's just hop right into it. Today's episode is entitled Adjustments. Why are we calling it Adjustments? Well, last episode was called First Formation, and it was very fitting as it applied to some military and sport reference. And for the military standpoint, it was like a first formation for our day at West Point. Running around frantically, no idea what's going on. We were all over the place, nervous, anxious, and call it what it is. All driven by me trying to take too big of a swing. And what ends up happening, we take too big of a swing out of the tee box sometimes, especially when you're trying to swing fast and not follow through with your hands. Hey, you make a little healthy slice. We didn't lose the ball though. We were able to get down the fairway. Thank goodness from our amazing contributions with Roderick David and Thomas Dimitrov. We were able to keep the ball, get out of the hole, and not necessarily have to lose the entire round. But like my father often says to me, when it comes to my golf game out of the tee box and I'm swinging so fast and slicing it and making the course more harder than it has to be, we're going to slow down our swing. And we're going to really dial it in here. And with that, we're going to dial in on what the alter ego is that I have and the energy we're trying to bring to the show. And we're going to focus and talk about primarily what I'm now coining as a term, Ted Lasso football. And what is Ted Lasso football? We're going to talk about American football here within our shores of the United States of America. And then we're going to talk about global football outside of our shores and a sport that is global and is on our shores right now with the World Cup. So we'll still have our American football contributors, and we'll keep working hard to build this terrace part of the show out where we'll talk about global football. So with that, today we've got Roderick David coming back to the show. We're going to talk things state of American football, NFL, college football. And then the terrace is going to happen this time. The terrace being in reference to a part of the stands there for global football. We'll have Will Zeckman on the show today for the first time, our resident Yank, to talk about the sport. And at halftime, this one will be one that is near and dear to my heart. Not halftime, excuse me, but the show will culminate with an interview with my father-in-law, Robert Lightoller, who is a two-time captain of Dale Emery Forest Golf Club in Cheshire, England, a county squash champion, and a world-renowned publican. I.e., for those that don't know, a publican is one that owned and operates pubs. So really excited to have him on the show. We'll be really working judiciously to go through the show. And with that said, we'll hop into it. And Three Lions is coming home. With that said, let's go to Roderick David. Roderick, you there, buddy? Oh, look at Rod. How we doing, bud?
Outstanding. How are you?
Oh, better than I deserve now that I'm talking to you. Thanks for joining us. It looks like you're calling from the homestead. Is that what we got here?
I am. I am sitting currently on a 5-gallon bucket flipped upside down, but it'll be soon the side of a nice, man, what is it, going to be about a 48 by 24 screened porch.
Amazing.
With going to have some cooktops in it. It's going to have a pizza oven. It's going to be the spot to be out here on the homestead.
Oh, amazing. Well, it sounds fantastic. And the fact that you're sitting on a 5-gallon bucket is going to warm the heart of my family and those of us associated with the construction industry. So
Yep.
you're definitely getting after it. And well done to you. And thanks for making some time for us to talk things American football as we're defining it. We had a little cliffhanger after last show. I didn't want to hop into it because we were having a real good riff with the Myles Garrett trade. So with that, there was another blockbuster trade that took place. It was with some of the drama that was swirling around with the head coach of this football team and another reporter. We won't dive into that as that's personal stuff for them. But AJ Brown making a trade up to Foxborough. What are your thoughts on that? And if you could, how do you see Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator there for New England, looking to use him and implement him into the offense to help the kid out at quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, the longer this one went, it seemed like it was just an inevitability, just a matter of time before it happened, which when it finally did happen, I was a little surprised by the price tag, and we'll talk about that. Again, A.J. Brown's going to fit just fine. Again, Josh is going to know how to use this guy. A.J. Brown, you know who he is at this point. I believe 28, 29 years old. He's an established player, an established X in this league. A little bit limited, in my opinion, in what he can do, but Josh is going to plug him right in. He's going to be a really reliable target for Drake May, which they started to have some guys that he felt comfortable with at the end of the year as they made their run, but he's going to be a weapon for him. Again, the price tag was a little high. I think it would have been shocking had he been back in Philadelphia. So, again, when you still are able to get a first for him, again, credit to Howie for sitting on it as long as he did. But also, again, credit to Elliott and Zoe and then Vrabel for, again, knowing this player. Vrabel, of course, knows the player. Elliott did his due diligence. And if there's somebody in the league from a head coaching standpoint, everything else aside for Coach Vrabel, he knows how to handle the locker room, and he will know how to handle A.J. Brown to get the most out of him for however long he's in New England.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I'm excited to see him featured. I think that's going to help AJ a lot with his psyche, knowing that he's going to get the ball. And furthermore, I know there was an attempt to try and keep the lid on it with the quarterback there in Philadelphia, but a quarterback that is not going to be pensive in getting him the ball, I think is going to be good for the players' mentality, that being A.J. Brown, and good on him as well. I agree, definitely a high price tag, but it's one of those things. You've got the window when you got the quarterback on the rookie deal. You got to go for it, and kudos to them for being bullish and really trying their hardest to make sure they keep riding the momentum to give themselves a shot at getting back to the show, competing for Vince Lombardi's Super Bowl. Moving on to kind of global scope of the league, we're wrapping up here with NFL with mini camps across the league. If you were to look at all 32, which mini camp do you think was the most important this year? And if so, and when you identify that one, why was it the most important across the league?
Yeah, for me, it was pretty easy this year because I think there was again there were really two spots: new GM, new head coach, Atlanta and Miami. Now, again, the difference between those two, I'm gonna say Miami because they had so much roster changeover. I mean, when you start getting that roster turnover with the new head coach, with the new GM, like you have to establish, and it's been happening since everybody got into the building. Hafley, John Eric Sullivan, again, Malik Willis as the guy that's going to be the quarterback. You've got to establish that culture and let everybody know, get everybody on the same page. Now, this is the way we're going to do things. Atlanta, again, you've got Stefanski. He's an established guy, so he knows the way he wants to do things. So there's going to be a little bit more time, a little bit more grace period there. And you also have you've got a veteran offensive line there. You've got some veteran pieces. A lot of that roster is back, even if you have to, still fill some spots. But Miami, so much roster turnover. So, new head coach, new GM, just so much going on. Essential for them to have a really good cycle again from the time they kicked off, getting everybody in the building to mandatory minicamp. They were the one that I had circled. Like they had to nail it. They had to be on point with everything. Again, we know in this league you get a little bit of a runway, but man, you better show some signs fast. So again, there's a lot of pressure on everybody in Miami to show some signs that they're going in the right direction soon.
Nice. And it's funny you bring up Miami and Atlanta. Quarterback there that was drafted by Miami and is now in Atlanta. Do you think he's the guy, or do you think that Penix will be ready to shouldn't say be day one, but to be the ultimate lefty under center there for the Dirty Birds.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough one. The fact that they actually have two left-handed quarterbacks is good because again you don't have to stuff changes protection wise. So again you take that outside of it. I don't know on I really liked Mike Penix coming out of Washington. I hated him at Indiana. I did him at Indiana. And again, took a long time to warm to him at Washington, and he seemed to answer the bell, answer the questions. Everybody had talked to, man, he's a guy. He's a guy's guy, locker room guy. Tua, not quite that, but Tua is. I mean, he's got a lot of skins in the game. He has had a lot of games. He's had some big games. He's won a lot more games than Penix has. If I was guessing now, I mean, I think Tua starts the season, but I don't think it lasts long. I think Mike Penix, they're going to give him the chance to come in and be that guy and take over. And unless, which has certainly happened before, unless Tua just lights it on fire from the get-go and you have a hard time benching him, it sets up for a quarterback issue, which, again, Kevin Stefanski is unfortunately no stranger to, and it's not a spot any franchise wants to be in. So it's going to be a fascinating one. I again, for everything that happened between Terry and I while I was there, he put together a really good roster. It is a good roster if they could figure out that quarterback spot. And again, they didn't get it done with Kirk Cousins, who's not going to start in Vegas. Just going to throw that out there. But the rest of that roster is really solid. So there's a lot of things that Ian and now Kevin have to work with in Atlanta that is going to set up that quarterback if they can play well.
Defo. No, I'm gutted I couldn't convert you on the Kirko thing. We'll have to see how it pans out and if that bet ends up hitting, so we can have our own studio. And
I went back, Justin. Yesterday, actually, I went back and watched the final game of the season for Kirk Cousins. Again, there's something I'm going to see something in this game. I'm going to watch the film. I'm going to see something that says no. I'm going to change my mind. But man, holding the ball, missed some throws. Got to get out of the pocket. But
I get it. I just don't know if it was the right partnership with Zach Robinson in that system.
Certainly.
I think. More of the outside zone, Shanahan tree, Kubiak tree, right? Clint actually being an offspring of his father. Like, I felt like I'm of course bullish that he's going to have a opportunity to revive, that Kirko magic. But coming back to Atlanta, I'm with you. I would not be surprised. Tua lights some magic a little bit here, just because when I triangulate around last year's pick of Dylan Gabriel, I assessed that to be a coach pick in Stefanski wanting that guy in the building, and I didn't write him, wasn't in the game at the time, but always saw Dylan Gabriel as poor man's Tua, and when you have a Tua now as an option for your quarterback if you're undecided or if he's not fully fit and ready to go, and Michael Penix, wouldn't surprise me if Tua has a tough time letting go of the QB1 job and making it difficult for Stefanski. But we'll see. That's what makes it fun. Bummed I couldn't get you on the Kirko thing, but another guy, just keeping it light here. We didn't get a chance to talk about last week with Myles Garrett, but you think AD is going to come out of retirement?
Man,
what's the take here?
I think he does. I think there is too much talent. There is a mutual respect between those two, of course, Myles and Aaron. And again, I think there is clearly we're going for it again in LA, and a roster. Again, they've got Alaric Jackson, their left tackle. Again, I thought it was the weak spot prior to his off-field issues now, and we'll see what ultimately shakes out. Again, that's one thing that Les Snead, he'll find a way to address that left tackle. And again, if you get Aaron Donald back in this mix, which I think ultimately, again, week one, cut down time, Aaron Donald signs a contract. Everybody better temper expectations. We're not going to get Aaron Donald from 2-3 years ago, but we're going to get a good 20 to 25 snaps a game of Aaron Donald, in my opinion. And it's going to be Man, good luck. Good luck. Bring Max Protect and find some guys down the field.
Yeah, max protect, indeed, pretty much every play. All right, so let's switch gears to the college side, the NCAA university side for our international partners listening. There was a football player who was had a lot of money given to him and some eligibility even granted at the Texas Tech University. Our guy Sorsby there, who now is deciding to declare for the supplemental draft. Gosh, what do you make of this? Like, do you think good move for the kid? And as a secondary question, like, will all these lawsuits and criticism around the ruling go away now? Will they just kind of put this to bed, or is this always going to be a talking point that people will complain about? So I know two-part
Yeah.
question here, but just
Yeah.
to talk about the Sorsby kid, I figure that's the topic here. That's top of mind in college football.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is one again. Been surprising. First off, I feel sorry for any of my Southwest scouts, Midwest scouts, anybody that's having to do work on Sorsby right now. Because again, there hasn't been a supplemental draft, I believe, 4 or 5 years now, and even the last couple of them, really not anybody of note. You've got to do your work. 32 teams have to do their work on Brendan Sorsby because again, regardless of where your quarterback spot is at, your quarterback room is at. Again, you're going to think about taking this guy at some point in the draft. Again, there's enough talent there. There's also so many questions about the kid, about the player. I'm surprised Tech didn't ride this thing out. Again, maybe it was a mutual decision. I think there's probably still going to be some lawsuits, certainly. Everybody's upset about it. Again, regardless of the way the final decision going to supplemental draft. I mean, it's ugly. Obviously, litigation, and as we talked about last time, the NCAA, what were they going to do? They already had a judge overturn it. Again, why Sorsby now decided it's not going to go away. The story's not going to go away. The angst against the NCAA, against Texas Tech, it's not going away. Again, it is going to be again for everybody that faces them. It's going to be fodder to make the fire burn a little bit hotter. For Tech, it's going to be motivation for them. Again, for those that want to tear down and rebuild college football, again, you got plenty in there. So there's going to be lawsuits. I don't think Sorsby is done with his lawsuits against the NCAA. Again, we'll see where it all shakes out. But again, for the supplemental draft, there's going to be a player that I certainly think gets drafted. I don't think as high as everybody thinks he is because there are so many questions, but somebody's going to add a quality quarterback at some point in this draft, this supplemental draft.
So with that said, what team? What team is going to add a quality quarterback?
Wow. I mean, it's funny because the first name that comes to mind is Cleveland, right? Why not throw another guy into that room? I don't think it happens. I think there's too much going on there. Again, does a team like Atlanta think about it, adding another guy that they know, hey, one of these two guys is not going to be here long term? Again, Green Bay, if they do the work on this kid, they've got an established guy. They're kind of still looking for a backup. I could see Green Bay being a team in it. But again, Baltimore, I could see them being a team that could have some interest. Man, I don't know. And then the final one, again, the team that I think ultimately takes him is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Kansas City Chiefs pull this kid's name in the fourth round. I think he's going to be a fourth-round pick to the Chiefs, and He'll sit, he'll learn, he'll grow. Kansas City, for everything that they have going on, they know how to keep these kinds of guys right, get them right. So that was certainly part of it. I think Kansas City, fourth-round pick, Brendan Sorsby.
Wow. Love it. How fun for Andy Reid to have him and Nussmeier, right? Gosh, two great rookies to be able to battle out. That'll be awesome. Good for them. And I hope for the kid, just so that he's got at least if he's got his priorities right, and he's gone through the rehab and has got himself on the straight and narrow. I'm hopeful for him.
Certainly.
You're probably right. The mess isn't going away, but this is the landscape of college football as we know it today.
It is.
Well, Rod, if you could just tell the viewers if they're dialing for the first time, where can they find you for your Right Step Advising, for Scouting the Lead podcast? Where's a good way to get in touch to learn more about all the awesomeness and greatness that is Roderick David?
Yeah, well, again, the Scouting the League podcast, you can just search it, Scouting the League. We're on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you can find us. Our episode with Taylor Morton, personnel executive with the LA Rams. We talked about the Julio trade. We talked a little bit about their philosophy. They're going for it with everything. Les and Taylor both were Atlanta. So again, just search Scouting the League. You can find me on Twitter at RightStepADV. That's my business that I run, Right Step Advising. RSAFootball.com is the website, so you can check me out there. Hit me DMs, hit me messages. Talked about a couple great players this week. If there's anything in the world of football you need, let me know, and I'll probably hit you back.
Well, Rod, you're the best. For folks that are getting to meet Rod, I can't say enough good things about him. Thanks for joining the show, brother. Always appreciate you. You get back to the Homestead project. Looking forward to seeing it finished in that porch that you're sitting on. One day
Yes.
we'll be able to reference it. I don't know if we want to call it the Swordsbury, the Swordsby tent, but maybe put a bet on maybe it can be the Kirko porch.
We'll see. That might be a bet portion. Perhaps one day, Justin, we will record a live episode from the screen porch. That'll be the nice one right there.
Oh, amazing. Awesome. Well, thanks again, brother. You're the best. All my best to the family. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep. Thanks.
Cheers, buddy. Oh, Roddy's the best. He really is. It means the world that he comes on the show. He's got such great insights, such great takes. I don't. The listeners that are new and that came back for a second time just don't know how much we appreciate what gold he's putting out there. These are actual facts, legitimate takes. Just so thankful he's on the show. All right, segueing into our next portion, we're actually going to be able to nail it this time and do it. We're a little behind, but that's okay. No one even needed to know that, but that's typical me, oversharing, being chatty Cathy. So we're going to go into the terrace sections. So back to that Ted Lasso football theme, talking about American football within our shores. Now we're going to talk about global football that encompasses all the oceans. And we're going to have on the show Will Zeckman joining us from the car. This is our resident Yank who's going to come in and talk. Oh, we got him. We got him. Will, how we doing, buddy?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes, can definitely hear you. Can you hear me?
Beautiful.
Awesome. Whereabouts are you, brother?
I am headed to Cleveland now. Final destination, Atlanta.
Amazing.
Going down for tomorrow, Czechia, South Africa, and then Sunday, Spain, Saudi.
Oh, amazing. That it'll be great to be down there in Atlanta. I'm sure it'll be rocking like we've seen all the other cities. It really has been so cool to see the continent, right? Because it's the North American World Cup, embrace the sport in all the countries. It's really been a sight to see. That's for sure. And for all the listeners, Will and I were fortunate enough to be able to share each other's company here in Erie, Pennsylvania. Shout out to Oliver's Beer Garden, where we watched the Stars and Stripes start their World Cup campaign victorious against the country of Paraguay. Will, what do you make of the Stars, the U.S. men's national team start? Are they for real? Do these Stars and Stripes have what it takes, you think? What say you?
I thought it was a great performance. I haven't seen them play that well, maybe ever. I don't think Paraguay is a slouch by any means. And, I actually was at the game in November when they played a much different team. So won, and they're a well-run, and defensively, the U.S. should be very excited about. The biggest revelation was likely Alex Freeman. He was probably my surprise package, and I think something that'll give USA fans a huge confidence boost in this tournament. I think that was one of the positions that was a little bit of a question mark for a lot of people, especially in that three-back system.
Sure.
A lot of people know the threat that Dest and Jedi carry, but Freeman kind of held it down, and it'll be interesting to see with bigger tests offensively what it looks like. They had one blip, led to a goal. I'll take it when you're up 3-0. And let's just, hopefully they work out the kinks going ahead.
Love it. So, in sum, these boys are for real. Like they're someone we can believe in and have confidence that a run is possible.
Yeah, I think they would be disappointed if don't get to at least round of 16.
Oh, I love it. I love that. That'll be so great for our country to have understood what global football is, what we call here in this country soccer. We've understood it, but to then see our own on the world stage hold their own, it just will be so great for the sport. And gosh, I'm with you. I'm bullish on them. I think they can make a great run, and I love your takes. But let's just talk about what's right in front of them. How do you see them faring against the Aussies upcoming here on Friday? Feeling good? There's another 3 points projected here. What say you?
Australia came out strong, got the win, and hopefully that helps with the focus a little bit heading into that game. They're a team I think the U.S. should expect to beat at least, by 2 goals. But we'll see. You never know. And slip up in the beginning of the game can change things pretty quickly. So
right.
It's just staying focused and realizing that every team that's made it to the World Cup, they're there for a reason. And Australia is the same way. So hope for the best. And I would love to see the same lineup. I'd love to see Gio get a few more minutes, but we'll see.
Yeah, we were there together at the beer garden. It was great to see Gio get that goal. I think that was a huge confidence booster, and hopefully the same for Pochettino to be able to put him in more and get some more runs. Because there's never been a doubt about the talent and the potential. Heck, there's probably never been a doubt about the confidence, right? Just putting it all together. And when you can get a real sick goal like that under your belt to kick things off on a home World Cup campaign, you only hope that can be some built momentum for the kid and ultimately for the squad. And then just looking globally, kind of World Cup here, no pun intended. What are some countries that have impressed you? What has been some that have surprised you? Thinking that they wouldn't have done as great, and they are doing great, or even vice versa. Like what's Spain and a 0-0 draw? Like, what are some storylines that you're seeing? I know a little bit of an impromptu here, but we've got you on the show, and
sure,
subject matter expert. I'd love your take on what you're seeing as some storylines across the World Cup.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting looking at how some of these smaller nations have fared, especially those where some of the players have not played together very often, but then also those who have. I mean, I thought the Iran-New Zealand game was one of the best games I've watched in totality. Might shock a couple people because of maybe not the highest level players, but it was such a combative game and two teams that had a style and stuck to it. I thought that was a great game with some good goals, and they both surprised me a little bit. I think the Netherlands were a little bit disappointing, if I'm being honest. I know Japan's a good side, but they were a little bit disappointing. France is for real.
Oh, yeah. We got
start charging up a little bit. I think Spain's my money's been on Spain this entire time. I think they're the team to beat, and we'll see. I think Mexico didn't look that good, which is a little bit disappointing. Same for Canada. I know some people might not want to hear that. I'm really excited to watch England play today.
Hey, there we go. Big one here. Coming up also, here in less than an hour. Yeah.
One last one. Scotland able to get it done, but I don't know how they're going to score another goal. But
McTominay.
Yeah, they can get through. Maybe on if they get another draw, they'll probably go through. So who knows?
Yeah, super exciting. I think it's been a great start I've loved to see, the continent. I don't think we ever needed to worry about Mexico getting into it, but it's been really cool, certainly to see the U.S. Be captivated by it and get into the folklore and the excitement of the World Cup. And when there's good product on the pitch, it makes it that much more enjoyable. So I really appreciate the insights. And one last final question, because I know you got to get going, and we're excited to hear about some stories from Atlanta and the matches that you're going to see. Uh, this will be for our guest that's coming on the show, my father-in-law, and all of his English counterparts. Does the U.S. Need to thank England for Balogun? Is that just something that needs to be recognized and appreciated because he came up through St. George Park, or are we just going to claim him as our own and be through and through prideful Yankees that we did this alone?
That's our guy. That's my guy. I think the thanks has to go to Arsenal. If anything, that's where he's playing more games. You're going to be there a lot more, your club, and Arsenal has a special place in my heart. But yeah, it's great to see him doing well, and yeah, it's exciting. I think for England side of things, it's kind of one of these things where they've got so many good players up front. He wouldn't get in that team anyways, I'd say, but yeah, excited.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting times for the Stars and Stripes. Really exciting time for global football within the continental United States, and soccer, as it's called. So, Will, thanks so much for coming on the show. Hopefully, we'll get this terrace together where we can have the group, in the stands, having good banter back and forth. Everyone's got a lot of busy schedules, and you being in transit, headed down to Atlanta. Really appreciate dialing in and provides some awesome insights about this sport you've made now. Ted Lasso football a real thing where we could actually talk about it on a show. So thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Safe travels.
Thank you. And last note, USA still number one team in the world that calls it soccer. So number one.
Number one. That's it. Top of the list. Absolutely awesome.
All right.
Well, thanks, brother. Safe travels.
Thank you. See ya.
All right. Cheers. Bye. Oh, Will. What a great lad. Loves football, global football, soccer. I'm going to have to pick what we're going to call it. I still want to, I think, just honor it as football for the time being, because we got this term now, Ted Lasso football. And, yeah, he, as a Yank, just knows it like he's from Great Britain or Spain or Italy or any of these other countries where it's like a religion. The guy just knows it inside and out. Little backdrop, I should have done some introduction. He's a industrialist, part of a family business here in Erie. We'd like to do a lot of Erie, PA shout outs since the show is based in Erie. High Tech Plating, HTP, shout out the Zekman family. Yeah, as you caught there on the show, he's a massive Gunner supporter. So we couldn't fit the graphic, but I think there's a reality that he probably has more Gunners shirts than he does dress shirts. He just is all things Arsenal. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, Will, thanks for coming on the show, buddy. Really meant a lot, and hope everyone enjoyed the segment. Moving on here, just to keep us really tight, this is our interview, our leadership interview. Really excited to have on the show an individual that's special to my heart, as he was generous enough to give his daughter's hand in marriage to me. This is my father-in-law, Bob Lightower, man from the northwest of England. There he is. How we doing, Dad?
I'm absolutely fine, thanks, Justin. And I've been listening to some of your podcasts there, and I feel honoured to be in such exalted company, to be honest with you.
Oh, well, I didn't even get a chance to necessarily even talk about your greatness. I did in the first part of the show, but as the club's only two-time captain for Delamere Forest Golf Club in Cheshire County in the northwest of England, as well as a county squash champion, and a training member of a crew that was planned to sail all the way around the world, and renowned publican. Really thankful that you could come on the show. Really happy to have you here. It's only fitting as you're making a visit to our lovely United States of America at this time to come visit us up in Erie, PA. But also today, as you see on my shirt, the Three Lions are here to kick off in under 50 minutes. So I thought it'd only be fitting to have, you know, my favorite Englishman, coupled with James. I do have a brother-in-law and a nephew too, so I want to make sure I pay honor there. But nevertheless, really glad you could come on the show, Dad. Thanks.
Yeah, it's, as I say, it's an absolute pleasure, and it's great to see my favourite son-in-law is supporting the my only son-in-law.
That's it. Perfect.
Is supporting the right team because let me tell you, we need all the help we can get. We're still living on the past glories of 1966, and every year we think we're going to do it again, but so far we've not quite achieved that landmark thing.
But never say never. Go on.
We live in hope.
Live in hope, and like we've had many conversations before. You guys are just on a quest to take back what's yours, and that's not only the World Cup, but seemingly, if you can do it on soil that you are still sad that you let go in the United States, you'd probably love nothing more.
Well, let me tell you, with the reception we've had every time we've been to the United States has been exceptionally positive and extremely friendly, and it really is a pleasure to be here. Right.
Oh, well, we'd love having you, Dad. Love having you. Well, let's hop into it. So this portion of the show, just back to the name of the show, right? The Fields of Friendly Strife podcast, right? It comes from the quote from General MacArthur for his time at West Point when he said that upon the fields of friendly strife are sown the seeds that upon other fields on other days will bear the fruits of victory, right? That's all in the premise of sport is a great life teacher and forms people in ways that ultimately become beneficial in their pursuits outside of the white line. So we kick off with kind of the bottom line up front. First thing here, if you were to say, what is your leadership philosophy and why? And for our listeners that don't know what a leadership philosophy is, George Ambler's got a great definition that, he says that it's a set of beliefs, values, and principles that strongly influences how we interpret reality and guide our understanding of influencing humans. It's our philosophy, our understanding, and interpretation of leadership that affects how we react to people, events, and situations around us. So with that, Dad, with all your life's experiences on the fields of friendly strife and off the fields of friendly strife, what would be your leadership philosophy and why?
I think you've put it pretty succinctly, Justin, that it would be extremely difficult for me to follow any of that. And your quote from Douglas MacArthur, of course, I've always been a fan of Winston Churchill with some of the quotes that he made, but certainly Douglas MacArthur's quote is highly appropriate. As far as leadership skills are concerned, I think first and foremost, whatever you're doing, you've got to enjoy it. You've got to enjoy it. You've got to sometimes listen to people that you probably otherwise probably thought, yeah, I'm not so sure whether he knows what he's talking about. And I think that's fundamental. The fundamental thing is trying. You can only try your very best and encourage and give as much encouragement to people. As I encouraged my son when he took up skiing. That was a little bit selfish on my part because I enjoyed it as well. And of course, your wife, your darling wife, she also joined us in the ski fraternity as well sometime later. But I think the only quote from her was that when she was crying on one of the slopes one time and said, "Dad, I can't get down here." And I just said, "Well, sorry, dear, we're just going to leave you there." And I think thereby sowing the seeds from a cruel father of the determination to make sure she got things done. And that still applies today, I think.
Oh, that doesn't ever. And yeah, it's just so wise, Dad. There's so much truth that comes from encouragement and so many different forms and ways to encourage. And there is no doubt your amazing daughter and my now wife
Yes.
has that determination based on the encouragement that you were able to provide. So love that for some truths there when it comes to leadership philosophy, especially married to pursuing the passion and what you love to do. So when you kind of reflect back, through some of your athletic and sport journeys, coming to that leadership philosophy, like, was there any specific moment or match experience that you can point to where you say like this was formational, into me kind of coming up with this leadership philosophy?
I think in the long run of things, Justin, I think I tried a multitude of different activities from different sports. Initially, from my school days of playing football, soccer.
Yeah, look at you,
cricket, and a little bit of rugby. Best as I tried, I was never that good, and in fact I think I moved on to lots of different things because I never really mastered any of them, but I was keen to have a go at anything that was going, and that was from pastimes like scuba diving, which I was lucky enough to do in the Caribbean, the Andaman Sea, all around the coast of Britain, the Mediterranean, and the best being the Great Barrier Reef off Australia. As far as my squash days were concerned, it was a sport that I took up, which I was probably a little bit better than most. Certainly golf, that's for sure, which my father encouraged me from a very early age, but I wasn't interested, to be honest with you. And it wasn't until I returned home from South Africa in 1975 that he introduced me to Delamere Forest Golf Club, and certainly by his efforts and that, I became a member there. And I think I only became captain because Dad was captain there at the age of 86. And I think he wanted to carry on another year, but I think he was told by the committee, no, Jim, you've got to make way for someone who's younger. And his reply was, well, that's about 99.9% of the rest of the club. So I think it was initially, I think it was Dad that got me the captaincy at Delamere, but sadly, very sadly, he wasn't around to see it, Justin. So, and I've been lucky in a lot of respects that I've been able to have a go at all these different sports and pastimes. A multitude. I don't want to bore anybody with the number.
But what you're hitting on, Dad, that I am hearing is. It'd only be fitting. It's right there on the bookshelf as well. It's one of my favorite books that David Epstein writes about in Range, and he makes an argument about generalist versus specialist. And one of his really good buddies, Dad, is another fellow author, Malcolm Gladwell, that talks about the 10,000-hour rule of achieving mastery. And what David Epstein kind of spins off on is this idea of really, let's look at Tiger Woods versus Roger Federer. Tiger Woods had a golf club in his hand from 3 years old, and only a golf club. That was it. That is what his father had him acutely concentrated on, right? And of course, he became, the most dominant golfer of his era, and reshaped and changed the sport. But Roger Federer, on the other hand, played all kinds of sports and never truly concentrated on tennis until he was a teenager, 16, 17 years old. And all of those other sports that he played and other athletic experiences shaped him into being arguably the most naturally gifted tennis player that we've ever seen. Yeah. So to that end, you like Roger Federer and the author David Epstein in Range are a true generalist who has a multitude of experiences that were formational in giving you great breadth and experience to excel when concentrated as a professional.
I think you're putting me in the company of some really, really exceptional athletes.
Well, you're selling yourself short, Dad. As a publican in the northwest of England, you certainly were very accomplished.
And I think I was fortunate in some respects that I wasn't exceptional at AP, because that's what I would have carried on doing time and time, and it would not have opened the opportunity for me to have tried lots of other different things. And I thoroughly enjoyed trying it. The challenge was to try something different all the time, and that's the thing I enjoyed. I think I enjoyed most. Yeah.
And you have to think, and we'll go on to the next question here, but like you'd have to imagine that played such a big role then in your ability to relate to all your customers then as a publican, right? You know, when you have all this, when you have this vast experience in so many different areas and facets, you know, now you're able to reach so many different customers instead of just being one subset of you know, a particular clientele. You were able to reach all kinds of them because there you are, an individual that was exploratory and having so many different interests and playing so many different sports. So good on you, Dad.
Yeah, I think I learned a lot of it from my father, and to say, you know, being nice to people is not difficult. It's you know, you might disagree with people sometimes, but you know that everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So
I love that.
I learned that from Dad, and I was again very fortunate that during our time in the license trade in the business, for both Linda and myself, my wife, we've been married 48 years now. So
there we go.
And to work in a business like the license trade together, I can assure you, puts a big test on your marriage.
I bet.
Now, when I was in the captain of the golf club, there were so many committees that were involved there, and I was never keen on being a committee member. And when we had the business, the committee was Linda and myself, and we talk about things and discuss things, what we wanted to do, our plans for the future, and all of that. And then we do exactly what Linda wanted to do.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Well, it's the old adage, right? Happy wife, happy life. So good on you, Dad. Smart man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes,
well,
yes.
And I love it. And this will be the last one to pile on with when you said that. I love Granddad's advice there and nugget there of it's not hard to be nice to people. You know, it makes me think too. Your daughters shared something with me that I heard echoed by Tommy Ladd, our favorite Tommy Fleetwood, when he finally got his first tour victory, because he's so loved, and it'd only be fitting, right? He's from the Northwest as well.
He has actually played at Delamere quite a few times. Not played. He's never asked me for a game. But
well, he will, right? We're gonna put it out on the show. We're gonna put it on the show. Hey, Tommy Fleetwood, you got to be playing with the two-time captain, Bob Lightower. But I'll never forget when he was being interviewed. Dad, he said, you know, why are you so liked, Tommy? Like everyone loves you. And he said, I'll never forget my dad's advice, like just be a good person. And you know, that was something I always heard. I always hear from your daughter, my wife, and that is just only so fitting with Granddad. Of, you know, it's not hard to be nice.
Oh, exactly. I'll take a leaf out of. I was fortunate and lucky enough to have met the Princess Anne many years ago when I was sailing, and she had the ability when she spoke to you of making you feel you were really important. She was the Princess Royal family, and she's talking to me, and I'm thinking, great, she's listening to what I say, and that's an attribute that few people have. It's and it's great. And I've met the other outstanding one that I met when I was living in Australia was racing driver Jimmy Clark. And he was the most down-to-earth person you could possibly imagine. I don't think either the Princess Anne or Jimmy Clark sadly died quite some years ago, but I don't think they'd ever remember me. But I certainly remember them, and it makes you realise that a lot of these people are just like yourself. One that's had a privileged upbringing. The other one was the best racing driver there ever was, and they are ordinary people in a lot of respects. So, and that's nice to have that feeling from them as well.
Oh, defo, and just a compliment to them and the power that I'm starting to see make a comeback in our society, and that just authenticity and realness,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
having a degree of humanity. So that's why it makes it great for someone like you to come on the show, Dad, with your realness and authenticity. So really, really appreciate the sound bites here and the answering the questions. Two more, and then we'll wrap it up here. This is
okay,
one
yeah,
for
fine.
all our for our young audience out there. So you know, Dad, if you could go back in time and talk to your 22-year-old self, 30-year-old self, right, that young adult
Yeah,
who's on the court as a squash champion or a member of a
yeah,
sailing crew set to set around the world, what would you tell them? What
yeah,
lessons are being taught right now as your 22, 30-year-old self that will ultimately be formative, that it's on the horizon. You can't clearly see it now, but it will come into focus before you know it. What's that
yeah.
advice?
I think when I look back on things, someone that once said to me, if you had your life to live all over again, would you change anything? And I said, I absolutely certainly would. I said I couldn't stand the excitement that I've had over my lifestyle and of the people that I've met. I thought nothing could be better than that as far as I'm concerned. I've never
Mm,
been famous or anything like that, but I've met so many people. And my advice to a lot of younger people is, I've had a go at most things. Sometimes you're not good. You fail at what you have disappointments and you fail, and that's life.
mm.
You have to put up with the. You've played sport to a far, far higher standard than ever I have, and I'm sure you've had the disappointments at times or other. But that's life. You got to just got to get on with it,
Mm.
and don't. You can have ambition to achieve the best you possibly can, but sometimes life can be quite cruel, and it knocks you back. But you get up and off you go again, and you carry on.
Oh,
That's
Dad,
yeah,
I love it. That was pure gold. And I'm sorry for cutting you off. I just couldn't contain my excitement because last episode we were rallying around this theme of anti-fragility, not so
yeah,
much resiliency, but anti-fragile. We were giving a shout out to one of our contributors, Roderick, who had taught that to me and was very inspirational. And now you get to make an impact
yeah,
again on me and our listeners. I love this. This is going to forever be. Get on with it. Just get
yeah,
on with it. I absolutely
yeah.
love that. Lean into life and just get on with it. I
Yeah.
love it. That is great
I
advice.
think as you know, I play quite a lot of golf these days, and if you have a temperament the way you want to win, and you've played for such a long time, you've played to a reasonable sort of standard, and as old Father Time catches up with you, you can't quite do it. And I've read books on how to keep calm and not let it worry you. Let me assure you, most of the time it doesn't work.
Yes.
Because it's your personality. But I must admit, as I advance through these years, I tend to worry a lot less. I enjoy the company of the people I play with. I enjoy the surroundings, and I'm lucky in a lot of respect at uh, being just a few weeks away from 80 that I'm still capable uh, of doing the kind of things. I enjoy my pickleball at the moment,
There we go.
which um, which as you know, was a sport that you introduced me to,
Yes.
and of course your mum and dad as well. So I'm thoroughly enjoying that, as well as my golf, and of course, um, the one of the main things in life is that you have a woman that
Mm.
you love and you continually look up to, and get on famously
Oh,
most of the time. Well,
that's right.
sorry,
Most of the time.
maybe not quite most of the time, but
Uh,
yeah. But it's been great
oh,
fun indeed. Yeah,
brilliant, Dad. Absolutely brilliant. Well, last one here. This is our send off one. We close
yeah,
every interview with this, just reiterating MacArthur's quote. Upon the fields of friendly strife are sown the seeds that upon other fields, on other days, will bear the fruits of victory.
yeah.
Dad, what seeds were planted upon your fields of friendly strife that bore fruits of victory ultimately for you?
Well, I think it was a determination. I think mainly on whatever pastime or sport I did was to try and get better at it. Didn't always work, but as I explained earlier, that's life sometimes. But so long as you're enjoying what you're doing, that's to me that's the main thing, And who am I to argue with Douglas MacArthur? He'd probably be right in every respect.
Well, he knew there were so many seeds planted out there on the fields of friendly strife, and really cool to see the seeds that were planted for you. Were determination, get on with it, love what you're doing. Have a partner, have a soulmate that you can share the journey with. Good on you, Dad. Really incredible stuff. This was special. So really appreciative of you coming on, sharing everything about you and your life's experiences, and this will be treasured for a long time.
If I could just have one last word and sort of wish you and all your countrymen all the best for your 250th anniversary. We've never forgiven George III since then, but
oh, perfect. Yes,
and thanks again for your hospitality. It's been a wonderful stay, and we hope to return again in the not too distant future.
That's right. Well, and we'll have to make sure we keep you tuning into the show as well. You're going to go down in folklore as a legendary guest onto this. So we are inside of 30 minutes to the Three Lions kicking off. So let's, as you said, let's get on with it. Let's keep moving on this show so that we can tune into the national anthem. Loudly sing together, God Save the King, right? And cheer the Three Lions on to victory. So thanks, Dad, for coming on the show. Cheers.
All right. Cheers, Justin. Thanks again. Bye now. Bye.
I'm speechless. Speechless. Just wow. That was really cool. Those were some nuggets there that were really powerful, impactful, and on a personal note, special. Because as I let in, that man was so kind and generous to give me his daughter's hand in marriage. Who I don't know what I'd do without. Kath, I love you, honey. Honey, did I say honey, babe? Ooh, what's going on with me? But love you, babe. Thanks, Dad, for coming on the show. That was awesome. Hope the viewers enjoy that one. There were some real good nuggets in there. Like I said, some real strong, powerful seeds that came out of that. So just want to thank everyone for coming on the show. Many thanks again to Rod for staying loyal to us, coming back to back. It's cool to have him there from the homestead. Awesome, we got the terrace going this week. Real thanks to Will being en route. Hopefully we'll keep growing that terrace to have more contributors on the global football and soccer conversation to kind of keep that Ted Lasso football theme alive. Next week will be the same time, same place. We've got some NFL summer storylines coming up and more FIFA World Cup as the group stage is going to be coming to a close. So I'm under 30 minutes to the start for the Three Lions here at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time for our listeners over in the UK. So thanks everyone for coming by. Happy Hump Day, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday. Tuesday? What's wrong with you? Wednesday! We'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks for coming by, everyone. Cheers. Oh, we did it.